Good morning, scholars. Today we're going to continue our way through Far's Homeric Greek, a book for beginners, actually doing something that Far doesn't bother to do, and that's looking into the semantics of εἰμι and εἰμι, I am and I will go, when they're compounded with prepositions, that is, with prepositional prefixes. This will both highlight the importance of learning these verbs, or how often you will see them, and it will also provide a gateway into the meaning of the Greek prepositions. Now, I'll break this into three parts, dealing with each of these columns in each of the lectures, so that these aren't overly long and you're not overwhelmed. So the prepositional prefixes that begin, or that can precede, are on, op, de, en, ace, ex, ep, cot, met, par, peri, pro, pros, soon, and hoop. And interestingly enough, because of the recessive accent of verbs, when these are used with εἰμι or εἰμι, you can't, they are identical, at least in the first person. So we will go through this first column first, beginning with on. So on εἰμι, it does not occur with sum, meaning to be or am, but on εἰμι with go in Attic, as it says, serves as the future of an εἰμι, the future of an εἰμι, and the imperfect is an, and epic and ionic, that would be Herodotus and such, have an, and it means to go up. So in Homer you will have ham he elioi anionte. This is a dative of time at sunrise. Elioi anionte. At the sun, at the same time as the sun rose. And also it can mean to sail up, i.e. to sail out of the sea. And you'll see that in the Odyssey. Otherwise, in Plato, it can mean to go up inland, especially into Central Asia. So, and there, again, it's the future. And likewise, it could mean in the Iliad to approach, especially a suppliant approaching, a god or someone who's about to kill them. And then in the Odyssey and Herodotus, it can even mean an εἰμι can mean to go back home, to return. Now, op occurs both with sum, to be, am, and with ibo, will go. So first off, op with am, you have the imperfect apein, second singular apesta, and epic apein, third plural apesan, and future apesomai, epic apesomai, with the doubling of the sigma, and the third singular apesetai. And so what does it mean? It means to be away or to be far from, tenos, someone, or apenai apotenos. Thucydides will repeat the preposition apenai apotenos, to be far away from. Or, when accompanying the dative, fulfilled by the dative, peloisen apenai, it can be to be wanting of friends. Now, used absolutely without an object, it can simply mean to be away or to be absent, or of things, to be wanting in Sophocles, or even of the dead in Euripides. So, hoi apontes are the dead in Euripides. Now, with eἰμι to go, again, it serves as the future of aperkomai, and you have the infinitive apienai, poetic apenai, and it means to go away, to depart in the Odyssey. Uk ape equals apete, be gone, so that uk ape, won't you be gone, won't you get the hell out of here, is equivalent to the imperative apete, and apenai palen, to return, to come back, and apete es humetera, to return to our homes. That expression appears in Herodotus. Apemen oikade, from Aristophanes, we are going home, and apemen ep oiku, again, but in Thucydides, we are going home. And in Herodotus, it is used of the Nile River to recede, i.e. in the summer, once the flood season is over, bni is to recede. And then in Xenophon, it can mean either bni epete, to go in quest of a thing. So you see, it means different things, or appears in different meanings with different authors, but with quite a wide range of signification. Now, moving to eİmι, to be in, the future anesomai, to be in a place with the dative in Homer, or to be among with the dative plural in Herodotus. Absolute, it can mean to be there, to be in abundance in the Odyssey. So, sit to uk enontos, as there was no corn there. Sit to uk enontos, genitive absolute, as there was no corn there, from Thucydides. And hieron ton enonton, of the temples that were in that place, again from Thucydides. Hieron ton enonton, of the temples that were in that place. Now, eneste can also mean to be possible in tragedy, and it can be used impersonally with the dative of persons plus the infinitive. It is in one's power. One may or one can. Eneste moi gestai. It is in my power to go. Likewise, the neuter participle can be used absolutely enon, since it was in them, since it was possible. That's Lucian. And for ta enonta, from Demosthenes, ta enonta, all things possible. Now, the closest you get, you can't have, in epsilon nu is speaking of generally of location and stationary location. So the closest you get to, you wouldn't have it with eİmι, ibo, shall go, but you do have it appear with eis erkomai as the future of eis erkomai. And so eis erkomai, the future poetic eis eleusomai, the second aorist eis eluton, eis elton, but the attic future is supplied by eiseme, and the imperfect by eisein. And as a deponent, that is the eįmī, having a middle form with an active meaning. It means to go into or enter, plus the accusative in the Iliad. Whereas in prose, you get the preposition eįmī, eįmī, eis. So eįmī, eis ta spondas, to come into the treaty from Thucydides, or eįmī, eis tous epebus, to enter the epheboi, these are certain officials. And then it can apply to revenue, to come in, eįmī. So if I was in Attic and I needed the future, what was going to come in, I could say ta esionta, the things we are expecting that shall come in. Now, of the chorus or of the actors, it can mean to enter the stage, eįmī, or to enter the lists, i.e., if you were writing up the soldiers who were going to be attached to a battalion or something. Now, as an Attic law term of the accuser, it can mean to come into court, and so this occurs in Plato, probably in the Apology, and Demosthenes. Now, metaphorically, menos, andros, eis erketai, courage enters into the men, and kroison, gelos, eis elter, laughter came upon kroisos, and it can also occur in the dative deos, eis erketai teni, fear came into one's mind. So, that would be Plato, and also in Herodotus, eis erkonai, eis tene, came into the mind. Now, this means that you can extend this to an impersonal, eis elte auton, plus an infinitive expression. It comes into his head that, eis elte auton, it comes into his head that, and then the infinitive tells you the content of what came into his head. Now, de, again, because it is a verb of motion, it serves as the future. De eījmī serves as the future of de erkomai, and you have the imperfect de eīn, to go to and fro, to roam about in Aristophanes, and of a report, to spread in Plutarch. And with the accusative, it can mean to go through a thing, to narrate, describe, discuss it. So you see this in Plato. If he says, we shall go through this argument, ton ergon, tuton, DMN. We shall go through, because again, this eījmī will be the future of de erkomai. Now, X is an interesting case, because X with am, eījmī, sum, is used only in the impersonal form ex este. And ex este is an impersonal expression, which means it is allowed, it is in one's power, it is possible, with the meaning completed by an infinitive. And you see that in Herodotus. And then you also see the dative of person with the infinitive. It is possible for him to go. Ex este autoi erkesthai, in Attic and in Herodotus. And so Xenophon will have ex esten soi andri genestai. It's possible for you to become a man. And Aristophanes will use this with the accusative of person and infinitive. And also you'll see this participle, the neuter participle, used absolutely, exon, meaning since it was possible. And you see Herodotus and Aeschylus will both use, we find this expression in them, exon, since it is possible. Now, X with eİmι, to go, yes, to go. Again, it's the future in Attic of eἰμι, but you with the imperfect eἰν, and in Ionic you have εἰα, and it means to go out, to come out of a house in Homer. You have it with the genitive of location in the Odyssey and Sophocles. So εἰνι ekton hipeon, to leave the nights, Herodotus, or eis elenkon eİnī, to come forth to the trial in Sophocles, or in Thucydides, even to march out with the army. And you can have an accusative cognate, to go out on an expedition or enterprise in Sophocles or Euripides. And then finally, or not finally yet, in Aristophanes it can be to come forward on the stage, exerchomai, but eἰμι for the future. And then of time or incidents in Herodotus and Sophocles, to come to an end, to expire. Okay, so this is a picture of the museum that is to be found in Athens, on the Acropolis, the Acropolis Museum, and these are some of the remains, i.e. the stuff that was not stolen by the British, of the Parthenon sculptures. So, a wonderful, wonderful museum if you ever get to Athens. Okay, so there we are for part one of our treatment of the uses or the meanings of εἰμι and εἰμι with the various prepositions. Okay, I'll see you again soon with part two of this presentation.